The introduction of the Limerick's calendar, which would celebrate the region's tradition of food production. Limerick Food Festival, incorporating the EWMCS Gold Platter Awards banqueting competition, was a truly international event.
The Epicurean World MasterChef Society is an international society of master chefs. Ideally, master chefs would be people who would be recognised as being at the top of their profession in each country. And the society has been there since 1946. In recent times, it has concentrated again on banqueting and the development of banqueting and education in relation to banqueting. So they've been holding Invitation World Championship banqueting competitions. The United States of America and Britain being the leading countries in that to date. Also France, Canada and Ireland have been involved. And so there have been 5 international banqueting competitions held under the auspices of the Epicurean World MasterChef Society. The Limerick Food Festival came about largely because we were invited to host the Invitation World Banqueting Competition in the city following the participation by the Irish chapter of the MasterChef Society in the competition in 1994 in France. Shannon Development provide the secretariat and the administration to the MasterChef Society, and I personally am the administrator of the society. So I was essentially involved in organising the team to go to France. And the team performed very successfully in France, and we had a number of chefs from this locality. So it was a fairly obvious location for the hosting of the competition in 1995 in the Limerick area. That gave us the banqueting competition, and we decided as a company, that it would be a pity to host such an illustrious event without developing food-related supporting events around it. So we developed what became known as the Limerick Food Festival through the centrepiece of the World Banqueting Competition and the other factors then, such as the restaurants and the Guinness Pub Trail and other competitions and cultural events in the city during the week.
On their arrival in the city, the visiting chefs were accorded a civic reception at City Hall. The Mockness Theatre Group certainly provided a carnival atmosphere. The EWMCS contains many prestigious members, the most illustrious of these being its president, Jean Conil, who during his lifetime has become a prolific writer with over 110 cookery books to his credit.
It is a pleasure, it is more than a pleasure for me to be in Ireland because of my family associations. Ireland to me has been home. That's why my heart is and always will be. Ireland has great possibility in food because Ireland has the quality of purity of food. And I believe that now that all European countries are coming and queuing for the wonderful quality of meat, poultry, fish, etc. I also believe in the potential of the Irish chef. I think they have come a very long way to equate our European colleagues.
This promises to be a most exciting, interesting and enjoyable week in our history, because Limerick is fast becoming the food and gourmet capital of Ireland without planning in a serious and intentional way. We can consolidate the work we've done. So I'm looking forward to a very good week with you all. Hope, as I said, to take part and sample some of your wares during the course of the week. I'm confident we'll have a very successful time. So again, as Mayor of Limerick, it gives me a very great pleasure to extend to you all a very warm welcome to City Hall this morning, especially to our guests who have travelled so far to be with us. You're very welcome to Limerick.
John Moran, Irish International Vice President, is a gold medalist at all of the major international competitions. John explains more about the Gold Platter Banqueting Competition.
Well, here in front of us is a typical example of your basic ingredients that you would find in the mystery basket. As you're aware, it's for 100 people, and the chefs arrive at 6:30 in the morning, and they're given a mystery basket at 7 o'clock, and then they have 1 hour to compile a menu for 100 people, and the only ingredients that they would know in advance would be basic ingredients like flour, salt and pepper, etc., etc. But basically the basket has fish, meat, shellfish, and a few unknown objects as well that would they'd have to really think about introducing into their menu. You might have things like pink grapefruit, which requires a lot of knowledge and skill to prepare. It's probably used in a dessert or something like that. The cheese dish is another thing. Some teams use cheese in a dish and others don't bother to use it at all. Some make soup from the cheese. And of course you have to bake all your own breads as well. And most of the teams will bake at least 5 or 6 different types of bread, from continental to Irish soda bread and brown bread. And generally the concept is to keep everything Irish when the competition is in Ireland. The breakdown in judging, a typical sheet that we would do in the morning. There's a morning session, an afternoon session, and an evening session. And then there's a food session. So you have 4 sets of marks. In the morning it's done, there are a lot of marks are awarded for the compilation of the menu and for being organised, getting the menu organised. And then later on in the day it's a question of doing all the preparation, all the filleting of the fish, the boning of the meat, the making of the mousses and soufflés and things like that. The afternoon session is like a construction session where you're slicing up everything into portions ready for the service at 7 o'clock at night time. And then at 7 o'clock at night time, all hell breaks loose with the service.
The Irish chapter team for the International Gold Platter Award contained the cream of Irish culinary talent, managed by John Moran and captained by John Coughlin. They created a magnificent menu, which included a large selection of seasonal canapes accompanied by lakeshore whisky, honey and Guinness mustards. Terrine of guinea fowl and smoked bacon with autumn salad and roast garlic dressing. Fillet of lemon sole with crab meat sausage accompanied by a tomato and basil sauce. Roast organic lamb with a wild mushroom and sun-dried tomato farce. Chocolate truffle torte with lemon ice and a compote of pineapple. All rounded off with coffee and petit four. With the main competition over, the Irish showed off some of their culinary skills at a public food demonstration sponsored by Flowgas. Ben O'Neill, assistant team manager, introduced the chefs.
And the premier chef for today's demonstration is John Hart from the Cockardee restaurant in Dublin.
These are maigre of duck. They're French duck breasts which are freely available now. They're slightly different from ours in that they tend to be sometimes a little bit chewy or a little bit tougher, but good flavour. I'm going to put a little slit in the middle. Then here, just above the skin.
Is that about 10 ounces, Chef?
Oh, it's more.
Is it?
Well, that's nearly a pound.
That's nearly a pound, yeah. A little, very small piece of chili peppers, per colour basically. This is a piece of liquidizer minced chicken, or any piece of white meat. A little cream. So what the cream does for it makes it a little bit lighter, you know, mousse type. Some black peppercorns, which are the same peppers are in here. Now that really is not rare. It looks that colour, but it's not. It seems to be the colour of the duck. It's quite pink. But what the little stuffing does as well, it gives it a nice contrast in colour as well as the flavour.
Guinness added an extra dimension to the food festival with a nightly food and music pub trail. This gave people a mixture of traditional music and food washed down with a drop of the black stuff. In one city pub, we stumbled across the ancient Celtic Pig and Porter Club. So the story goes, back in the 14th century, there were attempts by polite society to stamp out the eating of swine offal accompanied by black porter. And it fell to Mayor Nicholas Blackadder to form the Pig and Porter Club with the immortal words, black pudding, black porter, blackguards.
So we'll linger here a little longer, gorging on black pudding till we ooze. Why, we didn't realize when younger, black pudding should be washed on with black bone.
Open-air markets have been part and parcel of Limerick traditional trading life for many generations. During the festival week, Minister for the Environment, Mr. Brendan Howe, declared the recently restored milk market officially open. While the perimeter premises provide a home for a variety of retail outlets, the internal courtyard is transformed into a hive of activity as various stalls trade their wares. One event which had Limerick restaurateurs on their toes for the week was the restaurant competition coordinated by Limerick Junior Chamber. Competition was keen among the 46 participants. The restaurants were judged under a number of categories by a master chef and a local host. We met up with one such couple as they set out to judge the unsuspecting restaurant.
What do you think we'll be looking for tonight?
Hopefully a little bit of the taste of the Irish culture, maybe a little bit of the Irish cuisine that I've never experienced before.
Yes. What about the atmosphere? I think we should look at that.
Hopefully something that's nice, lively.
Yes. Quality.
Yes.
Presentation.
Definitely quality. Presentation is always a big factor involved with it, since you do eat with your eyes also.
Absolutely. And I would suggest that whoever is serving us, you know, depending on what way they take us when they're serving us, etc., etc. So it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
We'll see how they got on a little later.
Limerick, of course, is traditionally known as the Golden Vale, and in that respect is regarded as being the best agricultural land and the best area for the production of food in the country, or certainly one of them. In more recent times, we have diversified in this area due largely to the requirements of the Common Agricultural Policy, when new enterprises and new land uses, new uses for land and new farm products have been developed. Over the 10 years, we've been developing enterprises such as organic food, deer meat, free-range eggs, shellfish, a variety of products like that, farmhouse cheese. And one thing that has become obvious is that the production is very, very good, obviously, from the Golden Vale area. The marketing is something that needs to be addressed. So in recent years, we've developed a number of marketing incentives, one of them being the development of a regional marketing company called the Shannon Basket of Fine Foods, which operates on behalf of the small producers.
On the second night of the Gold Platter Banqueting Competition, it was the turn of previous winners, America. The team, which originate from Texas, have a strong Mexican style in their cuisine. In preparing the menu, they worked with Limerick pork, salmon, mussels and smoked haddock. The meal started with a selection of canapes. Then there was a spiral of veal kidney and Cashel blue cheese with Guinness sauce, followed by a Shannon Bay potpourri of seared salmon and poached local mussels served with a risotto of smoked haddock. Next, a granite of black grapes and port wine. Roast loin of Limerick pork enrobed in turkey and apricot crust, accompanied by a mild garlic and Madeira sauce. Texas tornado. And finally, coffee and a sweet farewell. For the American food demonstration, Morris Salerno prepared a dessert called a Winello, for which he started with a tortilla.
We took the tortillas, these are flour ones, and fried them in a deep fat fryer or hot oil until they're brown. And when the tortillas come out of the grease, or the hot oil I should say, you sprinkle them with the sugar and cinnamon. And while they're still hot, that sugar and cinnamon, most of it will kind of melt onto the tortilla. We decided to go ahead and make a caramel sauce. Reduce down, cook down some sugar and cream, and then added some cilantro at the end, or coriander, or Chinese parsley as y'all call it here, to give it a little southwestern flavor. And then I made some flames out of the tortillas, the leftover tortillas. I took your cream and added a little sugar to it and whipped it up, and then took a small pepper, chopped it very, very fine, added it in there. You don't taste the pepper until like 5 minutes after you eat the dessert. Then I have some berries here, blackberries, just nothing else on them. And then I took a little corn. But I reduced this corn down with some milk and some sugar, and just cooked it down till there's no milk left. And then take our little flame and stick it on top. And there's our dessert.
Throughout the week, the general public could sample the best of what the Shannon region can offer, and also could learn the tricks of the trade by watching various chefs prepare a variety of dishes in city shopping areas.
Very different and really colourful. The presentation was really, would make you eat. I wish I'd be here every week and we'd be better cooks.
Presentation of food is highly artistic. Another element of the food festival was the butter sculpture competition for master chefs, sponsored by Erin Foods. The competitors for this event were Patrick Mitchell of the USA and Thomasino Isogi of Canada. Starting with a block of butter, the task set for the two was to sculpt a replica of the Maid of Erin. This piece contains much detail which is of significance to Ireland. The round tower stands for safety. The rising sun suggests a new dawn. The lady playing the harp is Mother Ireland. And of course there's the famous Irish wolfhound. This highly skilled art of butter sculpture demands a lot of concentration while working against the clock. Eugene McGovern, catering manager of Trinity College, oversaw the competition, and in the end he was presented with two magnificent pieces of work. Cultural and artistic interpretations of food and dining room ambience were on display at the Dolman Gallery, while at the Limerick City Museum, visitors were encouraged to take a step back in time and view memorabilia of the Limerick food industry.
This here is an eel spear, which was used for prodding into the mud at the bottom of Lough Corr to catch eels. Dates from early this century. And here beside it you have net sinkers, which were used by the Abbey fishermen, and the name of the person who made these is actually known, Michael Shanny. He made them about 1920.
Called after the festival patron, the Jean Conil Perpetual Trophy is an invitation-only competition for senior chefs, incorporating the preparation of a three-course meal from a mystery basket. The chefs have to prepare a starter, main course and dessert for two in 2¼ hours, the first 15 minutes of which is spent preparing the menu. The 9 chefs competing in the competition were Derek Dunn of the Adams Trinity Hotel in Dublin, Joe Clinton of the Virginia Park Hotel, County Cavan, George Smith, Kilkay Castle, Kildare, Adrian Spellman of Restaurant Namara, Dunleary, Sean Hicks of the Dingle Skellig Hotel in Dingle, Gert Mays of Gabby's Seafood Restaurant Killarney, Serge Coustrain of the Castletroy Park Hotel in Limerick, Michael Roddenberg of Ashcastle Cong in County Mayo, and Ita Halton of the Great Southern Hotel Ayr Square in Galway. The judging panel consisted of 3 master chefs, including Eugene McSweeney of the Irish team, Sari Carlson of the US team, and John McSweeney from Canada.
Okay, time up, ladies and gentlemen. You can present your dishes and stand back to the table.
After an intense 2¼ hours, the judges completed the final stage of their adjudication, the tasting. The overall winner of the Jean Conil Trophy was announced at the awards banquet.
The winner of the Jean Conil Trophy, to be presented by Mr. Conil, is Mr. George Smith of Kilkeel Castle, County Kildare.
The British Master Chefs team competing in the Gold Platter Award were going all out to make it 3 in a row. Led by team manager Barry James Poppy and captain Richard Manzano, the team prepared and presented a sumptuous 6-course meal for 100 guests. The evening got underway with a selection of savoury hot and cold canapes. Then there was chicken liver parfait wrapped in smoked bacon, served on a confit of eggs with limerick leaves, quail eggs and a hazelnut dressing. Next, a veloute of local oysters and sweet corn with crusted prawns. The next course, a taste of Kerry beef accompanied by roasted vegetables and bubble and squeak served with a red wine essence. Here, the passion flame of Martin Schiefer's surprise tangerine mousse with a coulis of strawberries. And finally, coffee served with a Celtic connection with love. Outstanding on the British team was the talent of Martin Schiffers, chef d'Écor at Harrods of London. Martin's artistic talent was put to great use in creating fine decorative sugar work. By stretching and blowing the sugar, he created some wonderful pieces. Martin's talent was recognised by the judges at the final awards banquet. He was presented with the perpetual trophy as Master Craftsman for the Gold Platter Banqueting Competition. During the festival, he created this long stem rose in a clear glass vase. Among his other creations was this basket of fruit, made entirely from sugar. Limerick City shop windows of all sorts were transformed during the festival. Butchers, bakers, retailers, and even bookshops took part in presenting a food theme for the best window display competition. The competition was sponsored by Lakeshore Foods, and at the awards banquet, Hilary Henry of Lakeshore presented the Butcher's Window first place to Pat O'Connor Butchers, while Todd's took the overall award. Another event to be held at the Castletroy Park Hotel was the National Cocktail Exhibition. This was sponsored by Irish distillers. A challenge was set for the bartenders to produce a new cocktail called the Maid of Erin. Philip Foran shows us how it's done.
With your cheapest ingredient in first, which is 3/10 cream, 2/10 Cointreau, And to keep the Irish flavour in it, you put 3/10 of Jameson, bringing out the taste of the Jameson in the cocktail. Good shake. There you go. Taste of native Irish cocktail.
That's good. It's very good. The Canadian World MasterChef team, led by team manager John McSweeney and captain Sean G. Whalen, had the Canadian ambassador to Ireland, Barry Mahwhiney, and his wife Islay as guests of honour at their 6-course banquet. Only too well aware of the high standards that had been set during the week, the Canadian team were delighted to be participating in the competition for the first time. Canapés and hors d'oeuvre opened the meal, followed by a galantine of chicken, duck and millions with red onion Irish honey relish, young greens and a fresh chilli oil. Next came noisy pois marinated poppiette of monkfish, presented in a roast garlic-infused lobster broth. Spiced lemon and Guinness sorbet with Canada goose. Whiskey mustard and peppercorn roasted medallion of red deer with Madeira wine Julie and a French Girol ragout. Poached pear and passion cream, confit of grapes and a dried fruit wafer. All rounded off with coffee and northern reflections.
What I'm going to do is a sauté of marinated salmon with a singed orange and honey sauce. It's quite a unique a combination, something that I have on my menu, and it works out very well. I'm going to marinate the salmon with the orange zest. The sauce is really the main event for this dish. So remember, the sauce is a singed orange and honey sauce. So what we want to do, singe the honey. So we're going to get that going. And I'm going to use equivalent of half an orange. Now this salmon here is won't take long to cook at all. It'll take 6 to 7 minutes. And what I've done with these potatoes is I've shaped them into a mushroom. Okay. They may look complicated, but it's very easy. Yeah, just put them there for a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to put a plate together. Basically, just a presentation. You know, when you're at home, obviously you can present it any way you want. But I'm just going to show you one quick and very nice presentation. Lovely. And basically that's it.
Returning to the restaurant competition, we met up again with Fran and Eric, our 2 judges, to get their views on one of Limerick's finest restaurants, Mall Darby's.
The food was undoubtedly superior. It's the best meal that I've had in Limerick so far. I couldn't have asked for anything better. The overall evening was superior. I don't know what else to say. For my standards, it was exactly what I would have asked for.
Did you find anything typically Irish about the menu?
Yes, it was nice to actually come in Ireland and sample the different fish that's available here. And not only that, but the freshness of the fish was presented well, and the quality was definitely there.
We were brought into a beautiful little bar to the rear here, and we had a lovely drink there.
Yes.
And from the moment we arrived, the service just 100%. I just couldn't say enough about it.
Did you feel at any time your identity was...
No.
No, not whatsoever. No.
We blew our identity when the meal was over. And
looking throughout the restaurant as the rest of the wait staff waited on everybody else got the same treatment that we did. And even though I was not wearing this jacket, I was still in a tie, and the people that were dressed casual versus us, everybody get treated the same.
I can't say enough about it. They scored exceptionally high.
The restaurants competition was broken into 3 categories. Conil's won the Fine Dining Award. Mortels took the Lunchtime category, while Freddy's Bistro won the Casual Dining Award. After 4 nights of intense competition, the Friday night banquet was in honour of the EWMCS President Jean Conil. Coordinating the banquet was British manager Barry James Poppy.
We have a team of chefs outside, and they are in fact a cross-section of chefs from Canada, from Ireland, and from America, and also from England. And I'm very proud to be part of them. And I'm sure that this evening is going to be, if anything, the pièce de résistance of the week. The first course is a galantine of duck, which has been beautifully prepared, in fact, totally by the Irish team. And it is a classic galantine of duck with an element of pork, veal, and chicken, beautifully poached, cooked, and it will be presented with an orange salad along with a very, very beautiful array of lettuce leaves. The next course is going to be a lovely consommé prepared from beef. It will have a little solfrino in it of various vegetables and fresh wild mushrooms. The third course will be a small timbale of sole with fresh lobster, and it will be served with a saffron rice, and it will be adorned with a cardinal sauce, garnished with fresh scallops and fresh mussels. Then we go with something just to allow, which is very, very typically French, just a little soupçon of sorbet made from champagne. So this is actually to prepare your palate going in to an extremely rich main course, prepared with rack of lamb adorned with beautiful fresh herbs and a herb crust. Served along with it will be fresh French-style haricots verts beans and olivet potatoes. And it will be finished and complemented by a very, very nice tarragon sauce. And then, like for all the ladies, there will be a very nice dessert, and it will be a meringue glacé with a surprise. And our pastry chef, Mr. Martin Chivers from Harrods in London, has made a fantastic, beautiful, clear glass bottles supported by a beautiful rose inside, and these will be used to present the petit fours. So in short, I would say they're dining pretty rich this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you all raise your glasses and wish Jean Conil, our president, a very happy birthday. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray!
And so to the final night of the festival and the awards banquet. Guest of honour for the night, Junior Minister for Agriculture and Food, Jimmy Deanahan, paid tribute to the festival.
The Limerick Food Week will undoubtedly benefit the local food industry and will heighten Ireland's reputation abroad as a quality food producing nation. The international flavour of Limerick Food Festival was greatly enhanced by the decision of the Master Chef Society to hold their Gold Platter Award banqueting competition here this year. And I'm glad to announce here tonight, and I hope I'm the first to announce this, that they have decided to hold it again here next year.
Adding charm and wit to each nightly banquet was host Eddie O'Neill. He now bids farewell to the visiting chefs.
Well, I know the tension is very high and you're all waiting for the announcement of the final award. I can see somebody breathing very sharply over there. But as Henry VIII said to his wives, I won't keep long. But all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is it has been a thrilling, an absolutely thrilling challenge for me to have been so much a part of your banquets this week. It's been also a great pleasure because all four teams have given me so much in every way, with facilities helping me, because I am such a Philistine when it comes to Epicurean things.
My congratulations to all the individual prize winners. Concerning the Golden Platter Award, I have the marks and I'll read them to you, and it's in no particular order, and they are as follows. Out of a total of 860 marks, there is 587, 590, 530, and 685. I would like to call on our President to make the presentation of the Golden Platter Award. To the team from the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to have the last word. I will be very brief. First of all, I will thank every single person of the competitions, everyone, in one word, merci beaucoup. But before I do that, it is my privilege to present to a dear old friend, a companion, fellow founder, someone who's been with me for many, many years, and as a token of our affection, admirations, we like to present him something which will be unique, which will be the Oscar of the society. We will not give it a name. We'll just call it Grand Prix Mondial. And the first to receive it, my dear colleague, David Evans.
The chefs were very pleased with Limerick. They got a very good reaction from the people. They got a very good welcome from the Limerick people. And obviously the fact that they voted to come back here again in 1996 is sufficient recognition of Limerick that they had a very good time. The facilities in the university were excellent. The facilities in the hotels where they were staying and where they were being entertained were excellent, and the response from the people was wonderful. So on a professional level, the facilities that are required for this competition were all in place in Limerick, and the chefs are very happy to come back again.
And so the team from the United States emerged as winners of the 1995 Gold Platter Awards banqueting competition. But in the end, it was Limerick that was the real winner, hosting a festival with a mixture of good food, good fun and good competition, and showing to the world that Limerick is a centre for international competition of culinary art.